Kia ora, good evening and welcome to Central News for Monday the 11th of August. I'm Anne-Marie Case-Miller. An artwork that plays on its fragility to dare the viewer to break the rules of conduct typical to an art museum situation won the 2014 National Contemporary Art Award in Hamilton on Friday night at the Waikato Museum. Wellington artist Deanna Dowling won with her artwork entitled Tell Someone If Something Happens, which is a tube of plaster with part of a fluorescent bulb supported on a crafted wooden shelf. The National Contemporary Art Award exhibition is open daily from 10 till 4:30 at Waikato Museum until November the 9th. A new magazine launched in Hamilton last week aims to motivate, encourage, inspire and inform the people in the Waikato and get them off the couch and moving. Fitness Journal is free and published monthly, and director Alan Neben explains what we can expect to read in Fitness Journal.
Well, Fitness Journal is a new concept for the people of the Waikato, and it's all about motivating them to be better, to be healthier, and to, I guess, have a better way of living. There's been a demand, I know, in the last few years for people to be able to do more, to be able to live healthier lives, to eat better, to exercise more, basically to get off the couch. Fitness Journal is a guide to doing just that.
They were dancing in the streets of Rotorua last Thursday when a visit from some All Blacks saw excitement levels go sky high. Richie McCaw, Liam Messon, Brodie Retallick and Tawera Kerr-Barlow were first welcomed with a haka by Rotorua Primary School. They answered questions from students from Rotorua primary schools and then took part in a jump jam with Linmore primary students. Afterwards, they signed autographs for hundreds of fans. Rotorua was one of 4 cities to be visited by All Blacks last Thursday as part of an initiative to thank the provinces. Hamilton City residents have until September the 8th to have their say on a Hamilton City Council's proposal to change the city's rating system from land value to capital value. Information regarding the proposal is available at the Council Building in Garden Place, libraries or online at hamilton.govt.nz. Submission hearings will begin on September the 29th and Council will make a decision on October the 30th. And finally, the answer, my friend, was blowing in the wind over the weekend at the Claudelands Event Centre in Hamilton as it played host to 2 packed shows for the legendary Bob Dylan. Dylan was the first genuine A-grade music star to play at the venue since it opened in 2011, and concert goers were treated to an excellent musical experience with a treat of a jazzed-up version of Blowing in the Wind, complete with harmonica as an encore. Taking a look at the marine forecast now. Raglan expect a westerly of 30 knots this evening with sea becoming rough and a nor'west swell to 2 metres developing. Poor visibility and rain. High tide 8 minutes past 11 tomorrow morning. Bay of Plenty a nor'west of 25 knots on Monday evening. Sea becoming rough. High tide 7:55 tomorrow morning. Still to come on Central News, we find out about the Country Music Awards, discover more about the Hamilton City Honour awarded to Warren Gatlin, and speak with 2 adventure enthusiasts living their dream in the outdoors. Kia ora, welcome back to Central News. One of the most prestigious events on the country music calendar, the 2014 National Country Music Awards, will be held this Saturday, the 16th of August at the Founders Theatre in Hamilton. I spoke with Grace Martin and Jenny Hultane from the Country Music Awards to find out more about the Horizon Awards, the nominees and the prizes.
Yes, they are. They're coming up this Saturday at the Founders Theatre in Hamilton, 7:30. It all kicks off and we've got something from everyone. We've got something we've got Howie Morrison Trio. We're coming to the real modern Australian international artist, Morgan Evans. As well as that, we've also got tickets for everyone. We've got tickets for juniors, starting at $30 through to a family ticket at $150.
So it makes it an affordable night out, actually, doesn't it? Mm-hmm. Yeah, it sounds like it's going to be a fantastic entertainment night, but it's also about awards, isn't it? The Horizon Awards. Tell me about that.
Yes, it is, Annie. The Horizon Award is now in its 9th year, and we've had, of course, 8 Horizon winners. Now, these are chosen from 3 people who we nominate each year, and they're judged by a panel on the night. So it's really the only award that's actually judged on the night. And the winner of this award it's an absolutely amazing opportunity, because not only does it further their career straight off if you win the Horizon Award, but they win a trip to Australia to Rocks the Hunter Festival, and also to appear on the Global Artist Showcase in Nashville. Now that's pretty good. And our last year winner, Cameron Scott, who's a lovely young man, and several others who are also appearing on the show just as guests, have had great boosts in their careers. And this year too, also, we have what's called a DAG scholarship. Now this has just come out of the blue, very suddenly, and we're really grateful. Now this is put on by the DAG Sheep Station in Nundle in New South Wales. And the winner of this will be one of the Horizon Award winners, who incidentally are Cam Luxton, Daniel Cosgrove and Sarah Conlon this year. So they're all rising stars and all very keen to further their careers. And the winner of the DAG scholarship will go over to what's called the Winter DAG Scholarship Retreat. And there they go and work with other singers and songwriters of note and can further their careers there. So
That's
it's
fantastic.
a wonderful, wonderful opportunity for a young country music artist.
It's a real platform for boosting their career, isn't it?
Absolutely, and we've followed them,
Yeah.
along their way, and they've just had such a great boost from it.
Not, and adding to that, there that we've got the Maton guitars in Australia,
that's true.
RL, and they get a guitar as well. So
Fantastic.
Yeah, so you want to be an Horizon nominee.
Definitely.
But as I say, that's only one part of the show.
Yes.
There's so
Yeah.
much other entertainment as well.
Now, you've got something else happening on Friday night, which is a little bit different. Tell me about that.
yes, we've got the pre-award show, which has been held in the Western Bar in Hamilton, on the corner of Collingwood and Victoria Street. It starts at 8 o'clock, and it's a $15 entry, but you need to buy a ticket to the main show to get at the stage to come.
That's a good idea. So when you buy your tickets to head along to Saturday night show, it's a click of a button, and you can get Friday's show as well.
Yeah. There may be some door sales, but I wouldn't be relying on that,
Yeah.
actually. It's a very good show, very professional show, and 8 o'clock till 11 is pretty good for a concert,
And who's going to be there? All the nominees.
The nominees for the Best Female, Male, Duo and Group will all perform, but it's not a competition, it's just a concert to welcome everybody to Hamilton and to the awards, but it's a great way to kick them off.
We better talk about these nominees. Best Female Artist was a hotly contested category. Who's been nominated?
Well, this year, as always, the females are, of course, very hotly contested for. And this year we had Tammy Nielsen, Kaylee Bell, Kylie Price and Jodie Doreen, and 2 of those girls have already been Horizon winners.
Wow.
So you can see that they're high up on the scale already. So these 4 finalists will be announced on the night. In the female category, there's of course the male category. That's this year is Phil Dublé. Help me, Jenny.
Phil Dublé, and then we've got the 2 Craigs.
That's right,
We've got
yes.
Craig Robertson from Thames, and we've also got Craig Adams from down south.
will do.
all over New
Yeah.
Zealand.
Yeah,
So
they
we've
are.
got a group,
They definitely are. Yes, we
category
have
as well.
we have a group category too. We've got Annette and Kim, Capito, and also Into the East, who are a lovely duo, and Nearly Rich, who are made up of one of our past Horizon winners, actually, who's teamed up with Amelia Rich, and they call themselves Nearly Rich. So those the ones are the lucky ones who've been nominated as finalists and will be named on the night as best in their field.
And of course, you've got Morgan Evans,
yes,
who's a big
Morgan
name
Evans.
as well. So it sounds to me like the place to be on Saturday night is the Founders Theatre in Hamilton. Make sure you go and get your tickets from ticketek.co.nz. Kia ora, welcome back to Central News. Last month, the small community of Pāroa woke up to find that the local kindergarten had been burnt down. Scott Simpson, MP for the Coromandel District, has been busy gathering up supplies.
Well, it was very frustrating for me because I was down in Wellington at Parliament when I heard the news that the kindy had been torched. And so I wasn't actually able to come and visit until the Friday, that was 2 or 3 days after the fire. By that time, the site had been completely cordoned off. There were big barriers around it. You couldn't go inside. But I met with Jan Ballantyne, who's the CEO of the Central Kindy, and also the head teacher Glenys there. And I got a sense very quickly that even though the building had been completely written off, they still were of strong heart and upbeat about getting back on schedule for day one, term one next year on the same site. So it's a real devastating mess at the moment, but they're very firmly focused on the future and a new building.
Excellent, that's really good to hear. Now, I know that the fire has been treated as suspicious, as there was money taken as well. Are there any recent developments on the story? Are the police close to actually finding who done it?
I haven't had any further information from the police, but I think our police force do a particularly good job, and I'm very confident that with their knowledge and their expertise, hopefully the perpetrators of this low deed will be able to be brought to justice, because it's a pretty awful thing burning a kindy down. Yes, there was some money stolen, but as I understand it, it was only like $20 or $30 from the petty cash tin, so hardly worth all that kind of devastation. And of course the real problem is for the little kids. They just see their kindy burnt to the ground, and it's just devastating for them. It really is. So they're going to move temporarily into the Pāroa Central School Hall, and there's been a working bee to get that all up and running, and and I think they're moving into it literally this week.
Yeah, and how else have you decided to help?
Well, I thought that because all their crayons, arts and crafts stuff, their dress-up gear, all the things that you expect to have in a kindy were destroyed, I thought it might be a good idea to encourage some locals from around Pāroa and the rest of the Coromandel electorate to maybe just drop off some spare material they've got. So I've got an option for people if they want to drop off arts and craft gear, dress-up gear, crayons, toys, books maybe, and in some cases people have already started doing it, maybe some vouchers for music or something like that, then I'm happy to collect them at my office in Pollen Street in Thames, or at the Harcourts offices in Pāroa, Te Aroha and in Waihi.
And how much have you received so far?
Well, it's a big pile. In fact, we had to move it in the office because the ladies that work in my office were sort of starting to get inundated. So we've cordoned off a special corner of the office, and this mountain of goods is just starting to build up. So we'll leave it for several weeks, and if anyone does want to drop off some gear to the office or at those Harcourts branches, please feel free to do so. We'll collect it all together, and then we'll take it to the kindy.
To find out how to donate goods, you can go to scottsimpson.co.nz. Brothers Josh and Zach Lyon describe themselves as two ordinary guys doing the extraordinary. They've set their sights on a multi-continental 3-year assault on the world's 4 largest ice caps. The exhibition aims to ski the world's 4 largest caps, which are Greenland, South Pole, Patagonia and the North Pole, over the next 3 years. I spoke with the adventure enthusiasts recently to find out the aims of the 4 Caps expedition.
Well, basically, Zach and I set out to show, particularly the youth in New Zealand, that anything is possible. This is a dream of ours, and we'd like to, I suppose, lead the way and show, if you put the hard work in, you can really achieve your dream.
So, where is it going to take you?
That's the exciting part. Obviously, it's going to take us to the 4 caps. So that's Greenland, South Pole or Antarctica, Patagonia and the North Pole. And there's obviously stopover destinations in between those as well.
Is one ice cap more challenging than the other, or do they all present their own challenges?
Yeah, they do present their own challenges. In terms of duration, the South Pole leg's the longest, potentially about 80 days. So that's probably going to be the most physically and mentally taxing, but then Patagonia is probably the most technical the ice caps, so a lot more crevasses and ice cliffs you have to navigate.
How long are you expecting each expedition to take, and how are you going to traverse the ice caps?
We'll traverse ice caps. We say walking, but it'll be actually cross-country skiing, so always be on skis. And the length that it'll take vary. From Greenland, it's about 25 days to cross the ice cap. South Pole's a large one. It's about 80 plus days, give or take with the weather. And Patagonia and the North Pole are roughly around 55 days, again, weather dependent.
So you leave for Greenland in a couple of weeks' time. Talk me through what an average day is going to be like for you on the ice cap.
Sure, okay. So first few days of the expedition will be, I suppose, getting our kit ready. Then we'll set off probably about day 3. And then from that we can expect waking up about 7 o'clock each morning, making our breakfast, stowing all that gear. Then by about 9 o'clock we'll be breaking camp. Be ready for probably an 8-hour session of skiing. And then we'll be like, obviously, an hour break, every hour have breaks, about 10 minutes to refuel. So that goes, for about 8 hours and then repeat the next day, really.
How fit are you? How have you been training for this?
We're pretty fit now. We weren't maybe 6 months ago, but training, it's a lot of endurance. So the closest thing we can simulate to dragging sleds is dragging tyres. So we've got 2 car tyres attached to a backpack with 20 kilos, and we just go for a burn around the streets of Hamilton and cause all sorts of noise in the morning.
So are you normally very active anyway in your own lives?
Yeah, we live in the outdoors, really. So we haven't been brought up that way. It's something we've grown into, really. But we just love, any kind of outdoor activity, be it mountain biking, trail running, or even caving. Yeah.
What are you hoping to gain from Greenland first off?
Greenland, we want to hone our skills that we've picked up in Norway, and we are going to be going guided for Greenland, so it's a learning curve as much as it is the first cap. So we really want to, like I said, hone our skills and make sure that when we go to Antarctica and the other 3 ice caps, we will be able to do it self-dependent and without any problems.
For more information or to find out how to donate, go to www.4caps.kiwi. Still to come, we check the weather at your place, and up next, find out about the Hamilton City Honour awarded to Warren Gatlin. That's next on Central News. Kia ora, welcome back to Central News. Internationally recognised rugby coach and distinguished former international rugby player Warren Gatlin received an honorary city ambassadorship from Hamilton City Council recently. I spoke with Julie Hardacre, Mayor of Hamilton, about the award and why Warren Gatlin was chosen to receive it.
Yeah, so this is a new award that we have, and he's the second recipient of a city ambassadorship. Our first one was Archbishop Sir David Moxham a couple of years ago. Look, Warren's a great Hamiltonian, born and bred, schooled here, went to university here, and of course made his name in rugby, and then went on to the international scene as a big rugby coach, of course, throughout the world. So, ambassadorship's about recognising Hamiltonians who are afar, our man in Wales, as we say, and, the role's pretty loose, but it's about talking about your city and about talking up Hamilton and being a proud Hamiltonian. And I have to say, when you talk to Warren and you see interviews with him, he is very, you can tell his heart is in the city and he has strong connections here. He still spends a lot of time here in Hamilton, and it's just about, recognising those people that live overseas that are still part of us, and he's a great recipient.
Tell me about the award ceremony.
It was just lovely, I have to say. We were all quite overcome with it because the Boys High Fest 15 came along and did a big haka in the council chamber, and you can imagine what that was like because they're big boys and there were more than 15 of them, and that was great. And of course Warren's son Bryn was part of the Boys High team, very successful team last year, of course going on to play for Waikato now. So that was great, and his family were there. There were a lot of rugby identities who came along, connections from the past, and a lot of people catching up who haven't seen each other for a long time. So that was kind of nice as well. So Warren's family were there, Trudy and the kids, Gabby and Bryn, and it was just one of those really neat feel-good things that, everyone goes away thinking that was a really good thing to do, and he's a great Hamiltonian.
What does the city ambassadorship mean in practical terms?
Yeah, well, we were talking about that, and even in my speech I did say, well, there's no real job description. But I think in practical terms, it's a way of the city recognising someone who's doing something great for us and our name, our brand, and who we are, and our identity, without living here, being overseas and still carrying that Hamilton torch with you. And I think that's really what the role is. There's no official duties, but I have to say, having seen some of the interviews that Warren did about the award on national radio and TV, he did a great job. He's going to be a great ambassador.
And what was the feedback from Warren?
Look, I think he was, really chuffed actually, and a little bit overcome. When we first contacted him about our desire to do this, he felt really wonderful about that, and just thought it was a lovely thing for his city to do. What's interesting is that he has received a Queen's Honour, a British one. So he's got a British Queen's Honour, not a New Zealand one. So we thought that was quite interesting, recognised for his rugby services over in the UK. So this is probably his first, New Zealand sort of big award anyway.
For more information, you can go to hamilton.govt.nz. Time to take a look at the weather now. Hamilton, morning rain with a nor'west wind, turning to showers with a sou'west wind later on. High of just 13 degrees with a low of 2 overnight. Taking a look around the region, Pāroa expect a high of 14 with a low of 3. Matamata 13 with a low of 3. Te Awamutu 13, your low 2. And Tōkurua scraping through to 11 degrees with a low of 1 degree. Tauranga expect morning rain on Tuesday, a few showers and a nor'westerly wind with a high of 15 degrees, a low of 4 Tuesday night. And around the bay, Te Puke can expect a high of 13 degrees with a low of 4. And that's Central News for today, Monday the 11th of August 2014. Thank you for joining me. Make sure you join our Facebook page and let us know of news in your community. I'm Anne-Marie Case-Miller. Ka kite anō.
This has been an Alpha Media production, a division of Television Media Group.
Supporting local content so you can see more of New Zealand on air.